To divide a polynomial by a monomial, we'll divide each term of the polynomial in the numerator by the monomial in the denominator. Your quotient, this is important to remember, is that your quotient will have the same number of terms as the dividend. So maybe we should know what those words mean. You divide your dividend by your divisor, and the answer you get is the quotient. So if we're going to divide this dividend by this divisor, our answer will be the quotient. So let's set that up. Negative 14x to the 7th plus 6x to the 6th minus 6x to the 5th divided by negative 2x to the 5th. So we're going to take each term of the numerator and divide by this single term in the denominator. So let's start with the first term. A negative 14x to the 7th over negative 2x to the 5th. Let's look at the second term. 6x to the 6th, and we're going to divide that by negative 2x to the 5th. Then the third term is a negative 6x to the 5th divided by negative 2x to the 5th. So we've separated each of those terms in the numerator. Now all we need to do is simplify each of those terms. So let's look at the first term. If we divide negative 14 by negative 2, that's going to be a positive 7. If we divide the base x, we're going to subtract 7 minus 5 is 2. In the second term, if we divide 6 by negative 2, that's a negative 3. And if we use the quotient rule for base x, that's 6 minus 5 is 1. For the third term, negative 6 divided by negative 2 is a positive 3. And x to the 5th divided by x to the 5th is x to the 0, or just 1. So if you multiply by 1, that does not change that last term, because 3 times 1 is still 3. Our next example, we want to divide the dividend by the divisor. And if you printed the notes, I did change this exponent here to be a squared, so that this is a little more difficult to show this example better. So I'm going to take each term of the numerator and divide by that single term in the denominator. So negative 12a cubed divided by 3a squared. That's the first term. The second term is a positive 36a divided by 3a squared. And the third term is a negative 15 divided by 3a squared. Then I want to simplify each of those terms using quotients. So in the first term, negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. A cubed divided by a squared, we'll subtract the exponents. That'll give us an exponent of 1. In the second term, 36 divided by 3 is positive 12. And a divided by a squared is going to be a to the negative 1 when we subtract 1 minus 2. In the third term, negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. And the a is in the denominator, so you can leave it there, or you can say that's a to the negative 2 for now. But we do want to have positive exponents only, so we will move those exponents. So in the second term there, a has a negative exponent. I'm going to put that in the denominator. And that third term, a has a negative exponent. I'm going to put that in the denominator so that the quotient is simplified here. Because we must have positive exponents only in order to be completely simplified.